Hello there, and welcome to another Tinto Talks. This time we're going to be having a look at the Catholic Church. So before we jump into that, God demands that you subscribe to the channel because that would make me happy, and clearly would make the big guy happy too. So let us get into this. In nomine Patri et Filii Spiritus Sancti. Hello and welcome once again to our super secret Project Caesar Tinto Talks. I'll be your host this time. We're talking with Roger here, where we'll be talking about the mechanics of Catholicism and its associated Catholic Church International Organization. So, an overview of the religion itself. Let's see what we have. So, we have max literacy for clergy plus 25%. The clergy takes, they do not get taxed by your country at all. So, maximum tax goes down by 100%. There is some reform desire, so the Reformation obviously is still going to be happening in EU5 as well. We get plus 0.1 monthly religious influence. Okay, papacy bans empires forming. I wonder if this is going to be a case where if you fulfill all of the requirements for becoming an empire, you also have to ask if you can become an empire, not just click button become. Monasteries allowed, yes, cool. Maximum religious influence plus 1,000. I imagine these two are something to do with the Curia. Obviously, we have that in EU4. Maybe it's something similar. Obviously, it might be a bit different, so I guess we'll find out. Cannot declare wars on religious head without a casus belli. Yes. Okay. Makes sense. No CBs. CBs are apparently a lot more difficult to come by in EU5, so it seems like no CBs are going to be a little bit more common than usual, because if this was in EU4, this would not change my gameplay at all, because I very, very rarely do a no CB. It may be the best CB, but it's not one that I use very frequently at all. Also, the mechanic enables religious influence, needs a major religious reform. Reform desire is 0%. Has a college of Cardinals, has an official religious head, and the Papal States have special status. There are currently 85,324,000 Catholic pops in the world. Very cool. And 481 countries. You can see a breakdown of all of them and their populations. Very cool. I love this. Love that very much. Rooted in the Nicene Creed. Council of Nicaea. Obviously taken after the Council of Nicaea that happened in Warhammer 30. No, the Catholicism is the largest denomination of Christianity and is led by the Pope, who serves as the spiritual successor to St. Peter. The Pope acts as both the head of the Church and mediator in conflicts among Christian rulers. Its doctrine and traditions have shaped much of the Western world's religious and cultural history. Very cool. Love the flavor text there. One thing to highlight here, besides all the other effects, is that Catholic countries are not able to tax their clergy at all by default, although there may be other things modifying this on top of it. However, their clergy won't necessarily swim in money, as it instead is paid to the papacy directly in the form of a tithe. So this is diplomatic incomes for the papacy itself. So they're making a killing at the start of the game. 87 ducats in the tithe from getting money from all of these Catholic countries. Another aspect of Catholicism is that all Catholic countries will belong to the Catholic Church International Organization, which is this image that I had at the start. Obviously, there are multiple different colors here. So, Teutonic Order is obviously a holy order. I think that is pretty clear what that blue means. These are theocracies within. I guess there's maybe another holy order there in the middle of Germany. Not sure what the light blue is for France and Castile or the Papal States. So, I guess we'll find out what those are. Here is the Catholic Church, led by Pope Benedictus XII Fournier. He's fine. He's nothing special. We have 7 Curia and 16 Cardinals. And, okay, this is maybe what I'm thinking is what these are. So, we obviously have the papacy, we have Castile, we have France, Aquitaine was another, and I think that's this flag. And then we've got these 3 here. So we got Mallorca is probably one of them, and then I think that's Valenois or something along those lines. I'm not sure. But I think that is the flags that we're seeing here. I think maybe this one is Majorca. So yeah, I think that the light blue means that you have a cardinal, or that you are a part of the Curia, 7 Curia. So maybe that's what that is. And then obviously we've got the military orders, that is what we've seen as well. The bishoprics would be the dark blue, and then the members would just be regular. You can see here that there are quite many countries belonging to it. Total list is expandable and scrollable. I love that. I love UI stuff that can just do things naturally without mods. Fantastic. With some of them having special statuses. For bishoprics and military orders, these are self-explanatory, but the Curia and Cardinals need some more information. The decisions concerning the Catholic Church are taken by the Curia, which is composed of cardinals. In Project Caesar, cardinals are represented by a special building called the Cardinal Seat, which is available to be built by Catholic countries higher than county rank in any location where they already own a large religious building. Each cardinal seat will grant its owner a country a cardinal, which the country can use to influence the decisions of the Curia. More on that later. Okay. Countries can have more than one cardinal seat, and thus more than one cardinal. And that's why in the panel you can see there are 7 countries in the Curia, but a total of 16 cardinals among them. Okay. Cardinals are represented by a special building built by Catholic countries. So if I'm playing as England, and I do not currently own a cardinal, can I build a cardinal seat in my country? And it's not something that, you know, the Papal States needs to build inside me. It's something I can build myself. Kind of feels that way. I don't know. I thought it was more of a thing that you would have appointed to you by the church itself. But okay. Can I just build a ton of them? Is it expensive? Either way, we have here the cardinal seat in Avignon. I'm sure that will not have not cause any problems whatsoever. It is using these as its production method, I think. So glass, we've got paper, books, fine cloth, and honey. Beeswax, sorry. Clergy consumes more food. Max literacy goes up for them. Grants a cardinal, yes. Lovely stuff. And it's also, I guess, available to be upgraded, maybe, if it's showing current level. Okay, this is the building panel, and it keeps going through UI changes. So, that's... I don't know. Is this better than the previous UI stuff that we've seen for buildings, or worse? I'm not sure. I like that the... maybe it's just special because it's specifically cardinal seats, and that's why we're seeing a large icon for the clergy. That might be the case, but I don't know. Another aspect of the Catholic Church I.O. is its doctrines, represented by a set of laws. These laws are not something that's easily changed, as it's what defines the core values of Catholicism. But some important events will be able to shape them. For example, like the Council of Trent, more on that in a future Tinto Talks. And here are some of these law effects. So we have papal authority, allowing excommunication for the leader of the Catholic Church, monthly religious influence and monthly devotion, and it allows the following policies of ultramontanism, Gallicanism, conciliarism, it's the only one of these that I've heard of, and invisible church. Fair enough. Okay then. It also has some socio-economic laws, estate laws as well there. Okay. So if the Council of Trent is currently happening, you can start that debate for some prestige, and I assume that's monthly devotion. Yes. We also have the purchase of indulgence, giving religious influence 2 gold per month, religious influence, and it also allows the following policies of cum post quam. I am calm post. Yep, there we go. Just moving on. The unigenitus Dei Filius and the Etsi Dominici Gregis. No idea what any of those are. And we also have the marriage of priests. The clergy cannot marry. Monthly progress to communalism. For that. Also allowing you to, in rito romano, non in solo pane, and qualis est pastor. Whatever those mean. I don't speak Latin. We also have the persecution of witchcraft law for the religious laws. We've got progress to humanist. Pops can join rebels threshold going down. Very nice. And if you persecute witchcraft, you're allowed to sicut malefici Egyptii and sumis desiderantes. Cool. Next to the doctrines, we have the Papal Bulls. These are actions that any Catholic country can choose to propose, but only those in the Curia can vote on whether to pass them or refuse them. Here are the possible bulls with some examples. So you can choose target for excommunication. This is not just the Curia controller, as it is in EU4, but any of the Catholic countries can propose an excommunication target, and then the Curia votes on it. That's cool. I like that. We have Apostolicae Servitus, Servitutis, actually. And I guess you can start the election with disagreeing, which is interesting. It's like, I propose that we ban this thing, is maybe what it is. We have Christiania Pietas, De Gratia Rex, Ilius Qui Se Pro Divini, Immensa Aeternide, In Coena Domini, probably, I don't know. I don't speak Latin again. Libertas Ecclesiae, sure. So, for the Ilius Qui Se Pro Divini, the soldiers of Christ must once again spill their blood upon the shores of the Holy Land. Oh, that's to call a crusade, then. The spirit of the Crusades must be revived, for God wills it. Deus Vult and all of that. So, antagonism impact minus 10% for all Catholic countries. Okay. And in Coena Domini, all faithful should condemn and report any acts of piracy as a betrayal of Lord's grace. Fair enough, and maritime presence goes up. That's a pretty good one, I guess, for most countries. When voting on a papal bull, the interface changes slightly to show how many cardinals support each option. It goes without saying that all the cardinals that a country has will be assigned to vote on the same option, so the amount of cardinals a country has effectively is its amount of votes. Makes sense. I like that. So they're voting here on that. So I like that. I like that the UI changes based on what's going on there. That's cool. Not so fussy on, the block color behind it. That just feels a bit weird. Like just a square of color behind it. I would prefer maybe if this blue changed color. Maybe that would be better. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Besides the papal bulls, there's also the act of excommunication available to all countries of the Curia, that if approved will get the excommunicated country some very nasty modifiers and allow for a special CB. Excommunication is an international status of a ruler with a severe religious and diplomatic penalty. All countries of the same religion gain minus 100 opinion of the country, and the excommunicated ruler CB against the excommunicated country. On top of this, the excommunicated country receives the following penalties: less religious influence, less prestige, less tolerance of the true faith, and minus 200 papal relations. Nasty. Very awful. The Catholic Church also has some extra aspects in the form of saints and holy sites. Saints are characters of a country that have been elevated to sainthood. A country can choose to canonize any of its previous rulers, and will get benefits depending on the abilities of such character. Holy sites are special locations to the Catholic faith, giving some extra income to their owner due to the affluence of the faithful in them. Very cool. I like that a lot. So a few saints here. We got King David de Dunkeld, King Edward the Peaceful, Edward the Confessor, Edward the Martyr, Eric the Holy. That is Sweden. We got Danish King Knud. We got King Louis of France. Very cool. I like that a lot. And as for holy sites, we have Canterbury, Chartres, Cologne, Santiago de Compostela, Jerusalem, the Vatican. Nice. I like that a lot. That's very, very cool. I'm not sure what this number is, though. Is this like how important it is, maybe? It didn't say anything like that. No, it did not say anything like that. But would be probably Jerusalem being an importance level of 5, Vatican importance level 4. I suppose that does make sense. Outside the Catholic Church per se, and instead in the main religion panel, there are some extra religious actions available to certain countries besides the already mentioned option to canonize a character. So, here I don't know who we're playing as, but if we are looking here, we've got religious unity, we got tolerance of the faith, tolerance of heretics, tolerance of heathens. This is something that we will obviously know from EU4. That's fair. Conversion rate of 93%. We have no idea how. Like in EU4 terms, this is 2-month conversions. It's not exactly the same thing in EU5, of course. because it's pop-based rather than, province-based. But anyway, we have religious influence of 1100, some reform desire here. We've got some religious actions. We've got the demand apostolic tax, request aid, and placitum regium, whatever that means. So, demanding the apostolic tax is an action exclusive to the papacy, in which they will demand extra payment from those countries with the apostolic tax privilege enabled. Request aid is an action exclusive to the military orders, where they can ask to petition support to the Pope for their infrastructure, military, or coffers. And placitum regium is an action available to kingdoms or empires, gives them some extra crown power at the expense of relations with the papacy. Cool. One last thing to mention here is that, as you can see, Catholicism also has reform desire. However, in contrast to some of our other titles that also present this value, here it's not a ticking clock for the Reformation, but instead something that will come into play in the Council of Trent. Okay, that's cool. I like that a lot. That's, instead of, we're at 100, Protestantism time. Now it ticks into the various councils. I'm sure there's more than just the Council of Trent. As such, you'll have to wait a little bit for a further explanation on it. Fair enough. I will look forward to it. That's all for today. Next week, we're going to resolve the cliffhangers by taking a further look at what Catholicism has in store after the start of the game, including the situations for the Western Schism, the Reformation, and the Council of Trent. Awesome. Looking forward to that. On the other hand, this week's Tinto Flavor will go directly to the head of Catholicism by taking a look at the flavor content for the Papal States. Also remember that this week's Tinto Flavor will be on Thursday, okay, so tomorrow, as this week is Good Friday, and the Papal States will be too busy to attend their own Tinto Flavor then, and it's also a holiday. Awesome. Big fan of that. So, my thoughts are, this is improved upon what EU4 has for Catholicism. I think the special buttons that you can click to get random bonuses, like morale of armies, manpower, stability, I did like those in EU4. I'm not really sure if I'm going to miss them too terribly much. But it looks like if people are wanting that kind of thing, it's totally, like, there's space right here to add those kind of buttons, right? But it does seem like EU4 is moving away from those kind of click button, get modifier. So dropping the papal buttons does seem like the logical thing to expect. But otherwise, I think this is cool. I do. I think the UI elements look really good. I think it's just, having laws within the IO, I think, really plays very well into the Catholic Church. I think it's an improvement. I do think it's an improvement. I do think Catholic was one of the most flavorful options to go with in EU4, and I'm hoping the same is going to be true here. And I'm especially looking forward to the flavor dev diary that we get tomorrow for the Papal States. This is all really good stuff. I am not, however, a Catholic. So there are certain things that maybe I am missing. So if you are a Catholic, let me know in the comment section below. If there's anything in here that's like, that's silly, that's wrong, that's whatever, or, I'm really glad that they added this thing, let me know in the comment section below, because I would be curious to know. And I always I enjoy reading comments. But also, subscribe to the channel, because God wills it. And I will see you tomorrow for some Papal States flavor. I'm looking forward to that. I always liked playing the Papal States in EU4. I'll see you then. Bye-bye.